Hello students, from past few classes we are studying metric spaces, and in the last class we have studied first example in detail, in which we have shown that a given function d defined on a non-empty set r raised to n is a metric, and hence r raised to n comma d is a metric space. That example we have studied in the last class. Now in the today's class we are going to solve some more examples of the similar type. Next one example is example number 2. Example 2 is show that the function d defined by d of sequence xn comma sequence yn is equal to the summation over n equal to 1 to infinity of xn minus yn bracket square and whole bracket raised to 1 by 2. 1 by 2 power means it is under root of that, and this is for all sequences xn and yn belongs to L2. What is this L2 set? That we have discussed in the last class. Okay, so belongs to L2 is a metric on L2. We have to show that this is a metric on L2. Is a metric on L2. We have to show that this is a metric on the set L2, this d function. So we'll solve this example. So solution of this example is solution. So we have discussed about the set L2 in the last class after the example number 1. Once again I am writing it. So let L2, as we have discussed in the last class, let L2 denote the set of all real sequences sequence xn, real sequences sequence xn, for which the series was summation over n equal to 1 to infinity, summation over n equal to 1 to infinity xn square. This series converges, and this is a series of non-negative terms, and therefore this series will converge if it is less than infinity. So the same thing can be written as, that is, if summation over n equal to 1 to infinity xn square is less than infinity. Okay, so it is this. So this L2 we have discussed in the last class also, that I have once again written here. Now d function, how it is given here, that will mention. Given that d is a function from L2 cross L2 to R. As we have to show that d is a metric, so definitely it is a real valued function on L2, which means that it is from L2 cross L2 to R, and it is defined by, is given by or defined by. Okay, so this d from L2 cross L2 to R is defined by as d of sequence xn comma sequence yn, d of sequence xn comma sequence yn. It is equal to summation over n equal to 1 to infinity xn minus yn bracket square and outer bracket raised to 1 by 2. Okay, where sequence xn and sequence yn, these both sequence xn and sequence yn belongs to the set L2. So this was given in the question. The same thing we have mentioned here. Okay, so see here it was given in the question, this definition of D function. So that we have mentioned here. Now next we have to show that this D is a metric on L2. And to show that D is a metric on L2, obviously as discussed in the earlier examples also, we have to check only the triangle inequality, because the remaining three conditions can be verified very easily orally also. So let us begin with the first condition. First three conditions we will check orally. For the first condition, we have to check the non-negativity. So D function here, by the definition, it is clear that it is the square root of summation over n equal to 1 to infinity xn minus yn bracket square. And this difference xn and yn is the difference of real numbers, and difference of real numbers is again a real number, and square of a real number is never negative. So therefore this xn minus yn bracket square is non-negative for each and every value of n, and summation of infinite number of non-negative real numbers is again a non-negative real number, and its a positive square root is obviously non-negative. So therefore this D of x sequence xn comma yn is always greater than equal to 0, means non-negativity holds here. Then the second condition is of the coincidence. For the coincidence, obviously this D of sequence xn comma yn will be equal to 0 if and only if this right hand side non-negative number itself is equal to 0, and this non-negative number will be equal to 0 if each and every difference xn minus yn is 0. And if each xn minus yn difference is 0, then clearly each xn is equal to the corresponding yn, which means that x1 equal to y1, x2 equal to y2, and so on. And in that case, the sequence xn and sequence yn will be the one and same sequence. So the second condition also holds here. Next, the third condition. Third condition is the symmetry. And for the symmetry, again, D of sequence xn comma sequence yn, this one which is given by this formula, it is same as summation over n equal to 1 to infinity yn minus xn bracket square and whole bracket raised to 1 by 2. Why? Because we know that xn minus yn bracket square is same as the yn minus xn bracket square. So the symmetry means the third condition also holds here. So we have to check the fourth, that is the triangle inequality. Therefore only fourth condition we are going to prove here. Okay, and to prove the fourth condition, obviously first of all we will show that the D function which is defined here is well defined. Okay, so let us begin with showing that the D function is well defined. So let us prove the triangle inequality. Okay, so to prove that or to show that D is a metric on L2. To prove that D is a metric on L2, comma, it is sufficient to show that D satisfies triangle inequality. Why? Because the remaining three conditions we have already checked orally. So only the triangle inequality we are going to check. So, and for this, firstly we will show that we will check that D function is well defined. D is well defined. First of all, we'll check that whether D is well defined or not. Okay, so we'll show that, or we'll check that D is well defined, and for that purpose we have to consider two sequences, sequence xn and yn. Let sequence xn and sequence yn be two members in L2. Okay, then by the Cauchy-Schwarz inequality we have, then by the Cauchy-Schwarz inequality, we have. So Cauchy-Schwarz inequality we have proved in the last class in the example number first. So we will use it. So using that we have summation over k equal to 1 to n mod of xk into mod yk. This is less than equal to under root of, in the first one term we have the summation over k equal to 1 to n mod xk mod square into summation over k equal to 1 to n mod yk mod square, and this is for every n belongs to the set of natural numbers capital N. Okay, so therefore the same thing can be written as, which implies that summation over k equal to 1 to n mod of xk into yk, because we know that mod a into mod b is the mod of ab. So summation over k equal to 1 to n mod of xk into yk, this is less than equal to the under root of, in the first term it is summation over k equal to 1 to n, and we know that mod square of xk, it is same as the xk square. So therefore this is xk square into, in the second term we have summation over k equal to 1 to n. Similarly mod square of yk is same as the yk square. So yk square, this much. Okay, and again this one we know that summation over k equal to 1 to n xk square is less than equal to summation over k equal to 1 to infinity xk square, and similarly for the second also. So therefore this is further less than equal to square root of, this is further less than equal to the under root of summation over k equal to 1 to infinity xk square into summation over k equal to 1 to infinity yk square. So like such we have. Okay, and obviously this is less than infinity. Why this is less than infinity? Because as sequence xn and sequence yn belongs to set L2, therefore by the definition of set L2 we have summation over n equal to 1 to infinity xn square less than infinity, and similarly summation over n equal to 1 to infinity yn square will be less than infinity. So the product of two finite positive real numbers will be again a finite positive real number, and its positive square root is again finite. So therefore this is less than infinity, and this is less than infinity. What does it means? It means that this one, that the summation over n equal to 1 to infinity xn into yn, okay, this one series converges absolutely, and we know that every absolutely convergent series is convergent. Therefore summation over n equal to 1 to infinity xn yn, this series converges. Okay, so what we have shown, so this implies that the series summation over n equal to 1 to infinity xn into yn, this one converges absolutely, and hence it converges, or it is convergent, and hence that series is convergent. Now next one, therefore the series. Which series? Summation over n equal to 1 to infinity. Summation over n equal to 1 to infinity xn minus yn square. That is summation over n equal to 1 to infinity xn square. Then the middle term will be the minus 2 times summation over n equal to 1 to infinity xn into summation over n equal to 1 to infinity yn, and the last term will be the plus summation over n equal to 1 to infinity yn square. Okay, so this one is nothing but it is the expansion of this earlier series. Okay, so this series summation over n equal to 1 to infinity xn minus yn bracket square is nothing but it is the summation over n equal to 1 to infinity xn square minus 2 times summation over n equal to 1 to infinity xn into summation over n equal to 1 to infinity yn plus summation over n equal to 1 to infinity yn square. Now as sequence xn and yn belongs to L2, therefore obviously just now we have said that then we have summation over n equal to 1 to infinity xn square is less than infinity, means it is a finite number. So this is a finite number as the sequence xn belongs to L2. Again similarly summation over n equal to 1 to infinity yn square, this is again a finite number, means both these quantities are less than infinity. And just now we have shown that summation over n equal to 1 to infinity xn yn, this one is again a finite quantity. Okay, so this is again a finite quantity less than infinity. So collectively this shows that the summation over n equal to 1 to infinity xn square into yn square is also convergent. Okay, therefore this series is, this is the sum of it is the sum of 3 convergent series, sum of 3 convergent series, and therefore this series means the given series is also convergent. Therefore itself it is convergent. Itself means this one summation over n equal to 1 to infinity xn minus yn square, this is convergent. Okay, so this series is convergent. Now again by using the Cauchy-Schwarz inequality, so by using Cauchy-Schwarz inequality, by Cauchy-Schwarz inequality, we have what we have? We have mod of summation over k equal to 1 to n xk into yk. This much is less than equal to, it is square root of summation over k equal to 1 to n xk square into summation over k equal to 1 to n yk square. This we have by the Cauchy-Schwarz inequality. And if we take the limits of both sides as n tends to infinity, okay, therefore letting n tends to infinity, means taking limits as n tends to infinity, we get, so letting n tends to infinity, we get, so we'll get mod of summation over k equal to 1 to infinity xk into yk. This quantity will be less than equal to, this is less than equal to square root of summation over k equal to 1 to infinity xk square into summation over k equal to 1 to infinity yk square. This will get. Okay, so this is that relation we have obtained, and therefore we can say that the given d function is well defined that we have shown here. Okay, let us denote this one relation by the number 1. So this is our relation number 1. Now next one, Now we will prove the triangle inequality. Okay. So for that purpose, we will consider three members from the L2, and member of L2 is a sequence. So let sequence AN, sequence BN and sequence CN be any three members from L2. Okay. So then we put Xn equal to An minus Bn. We will put Yn equal to Bn minus Cn, and this is for all n belongs to n. Okay. Then we have summation over n equal to 1 to infinity. Summation over n equal to 1 to infinity Xn plus Yn bracket square. This is equal to the summation over n equal to 1 to infinity Xn square plus 2 times summation over n equal to 1 to infinity Xn into Yn plus summation over n equal to 1 to infinity Yn square. Okay. And now this is less than equal to. Now in the middle term, means for this middle term, this summation over n equal to 1 to infinity Xn into Yn, for this term we will use the relation number 1. Okay. So by that relation number 1, so this is less than equal to the summation over n equal to 1 to infinity. First and third term will remain as it is. First term is summation over n equal to 1 to infinity Xn square plus it is 2 times square root of summation over n equal to 1 to infinity Xn square into summation over n equal to 1 to infinity Yn square. So we know that summation over n equal to 1 to infinity Xn Yn is less than equal to the square root, so that we have used here, and again plus it is summation over n equal to 1 to infinity Yn square, means the third term will remain as it is. Okay. So we have used the relation number 1 here. Now if you observe the right hand side, it is a perfect square, so therefore this is equal to the first term is summation over n equal to 1 to infinity Xn square. It's a 1 by 2 power, means it's a under root, and plus the second term is summation over n equal to 1 to infinity Yn square. It's a under root, means 1 by 2 power, and it's a whole square. Whole square of this outer square bracket is this earlier right hand side. Okay. So now next one. So what we have shown just now, we will write down once again. So therefore we have shown that the summation over n equal to 1 to infinity Xn plus Yn square. Okay. So this is less than equal to the square of this right hand side, means this bracket. So now the left hand side is a non-negative number, as it is a summation of infinite number of non-negative real numbers, and right hand side being a whole square of real number, it is again non-negative. So both left hand side and right hand side are non-negative quantities. So therefore we will take the positive square root of both sides, and therefore by taking the positive square root of both sides we get. So therefore this implies that the positive square root of left hand side means it is under root of summation over n equal to 1 to infinity Xn plus Yn bracket square, and this will be less than equal to. Here the strongest inequality is the less than equal to. So therefore this left hand side is less than equal to first term plus second term, it's under root, and after taking the under root of this square and under root will get cancelled, and we will be left with only these two terms. So it is square root of summation over n equal to 1 to infinity xn square. This is the first term as it is. 1 by 2 power we have written in the form of square root so as to it will be easy for further purpose. And plus the second term is summation over n equal to 1 to infinity yn square. Okay. Now this can be written as, in this one put the values of xn and yn. So if we put the values of xn and yn, so this is nothing but, so this is square root of summation over n equal to 1 to infinity, and xn plus yn means an minus cn. Okay, so this becomes an minus cn bracket square, and this is less than equal to square root of summation over n equal to 1 to infinity xn square means it is an minus bn bracket square, and plus it is square root of summation over n equal to 1 to infinity yn square means it is bn minus cn bracket square. Okay. Now use the definition of d function of this example. So therefore by the definition of d function, this is nothing but this is d of the left hand side is nothing but it is d of sequence an comma sequence cn. Okay, this one, and it is less than equal to d of sequence an comma sequence bn plus d of sequence bn comma sequence cn. Okay, so this we have shown, and this shows the triangle inequality, hence the triangle inequality. So in this way we have proved the triangle inequality also. So therefore D satisfies all the four conditions required for being a metric. Hence D is a metric on the set L2. Okay, so we have shown that D is a metric on L2. So it is this, and therefore L2 comma D is a metric space. L2 comma D is a metric space. So like such we have solved this example. There is one note on this one that we'll mention here. We will mention a note here which is based on this example number 2nd, and that note is the metric space L2 comma D. The metric space L2 comma D of example 2nd means the example which was studied just now. So the metric space of the above example is known as a Hilbert space. It is known as a Hilbert space. And this Hilbert space you are going to study in MSc Mathematics if you opt MSc Mathematics as your post-graduation course. So this Hilbert space we have studied here. Okay. Next one we'll go for the example number 3rd. Now the next example is example number 3rd. Show that the set R raised to n. This set we have already discussed in the first example with the function d dash defined by d dash of x comma y is equal to the summation over I equal to 1 to n mod of xi minus yi. Like such, here d dash function is defined. So we have to show that this set R raised to n with this d dash defined as such is a metric space. We have to show that this is a metric space. Okay, so we'll show this one. So solution of this is solution. Let R raised to n denote the set of all n tuples, of form obviously A1, A2 continued up to AN, okay, where each AI belongs to R, means each AI is a real number. Okay, the D function is already given here in the question. So now obviously, as earlier, to show that this is a metric space, we have to show that D dash is a metric, and to show that D dash is a metric, we have to show that it satisfies all four conditions, and out of those, first three can be checked orally also. So we'll check first three conditions orally. The first condition is d dash of x comma y is equal to the summation over I equal to 1 to n mod of xi minus yi, where xi and yi are real numbers. We know that the positive difference, absolute value means the positive difference of two real numbers is again a real number, and summation of n number of non-negative real numbers is obviously a non-negative quantity. Therefore, this d dash is always greater than equal to 0. So first condition holds here. The second condition is the coincidence. D dash of x comma y will be equal to 0 if and only if this summation is equal to 0, and summation of n non-negative real numbers will be 0 only when each and every real number is 0, which means that we must have x1 equal to y1, x2 equal to y2, and so on up to the xn equal to yn. And if it is so, then clearly x will be equal to y. Next one means the second condition also holds here. Next one, the third condition, is the symmetry. For that purpose, we have d dash of x comma y, which is defined as in the question. It is same as summation over I equal to 1 to n mod of yi minus xi, because we know that mod of a minus b is same as the mod of b minus a. Therefore, it is equal to the summation over I equal to 1 to n mod of yi minus xi, and then by definition it will be equal to d dash of y comma x. So therefore, symmetry also is satisfied. So all three conditions we have checked here orally, and all they are satisfied. Now we'll check the triangle inequality. Okay, so to show that d dash is a metric, comma, we have to check triangle inequality. Means whether it is satisfied or not. Okay, triangle inequality. So we'll check the triangle inequality, and for checking the triangle inequality, we'll proceed here. So we have d dash of x comma y equal to, use the definition of d dash. So it is equal to summation over I equal to 1 to n mod of xi minus yi. Okay, now this can be written as, this is equal to, as we have done many times earlier also. So this can be written as summation over I equal to 1 to n mod of xi minus zi plus zi minus yi. Okay, so we have subtracted a real number zi and added a real number zi. Adding and subtracting the same real number doesn't change its value. Okay, it will not make any change in its value, only the arrangement we are going to change here. And obviously now we'll make one group of xi minus zi and another group of zi minus yi, and we know that mod of a plus b is less than equal to the mod a plus mod b, that we know from the properties of the absolute value function. So therefore now it will become less than equal to, so this is less than equal to summation over I equal to 1 to n mod of xi minus zi plus mod of zi minus yi. Okay, so by that property which I have mentioned just now, that mod of a plus b is less than equal to mod a plus mod b. Now take the summation separately, so which is equal to the summation over I equal to 1 to n mod of xi minus zi and plus summation over I equal to 1 to n mod of zi minus yi. Okay, so this we got. And if you recall the definition of d dash of this example, then the right hand side is nothing but the first term on the right hand side is d dash of x comma z, and the second term is d dash of z comma y. So see here what we have shown. So we have shown that d dash of x comma y, we have shown that d dash of x comma y is less than equal to the d dash of x comma z plus d dash of y z comma y, which means that the triangle inequality holds here. Okay, therefore triangle inequality holds. Triangle inequality holds. Okay, hence d dash is a metric on r raised to n, and hence this r raised to n comma d dash, this ordered pair, is a metric space. So this is a metric space. So like such we have proved that this one is a metric space. Okay, now after proving this it is a metric space, we will write down two important notes on this one. Notes. The first one note is, see here in the example number first and third we have used the same set r raised to n. Okay, on the same set r raised to n, in first example we have used the function d and shown that r raised to n comma d is a metric space, and in the third example we have used the metric d dash and we have shown that r raised to n comma d dash is also a metric space. So this means that therefore we can define more than one matrices on the same set also. Okay, so therefore we can define more than one matrix on the same set, as we have shown in the example first and third. Okay, so in the example third the metric space was r raised to n comma d, and in example number third the metric space was r raised to n comma d dash. This concept later on again we are going to use for in the next articles. Next one is that, so we observe here that these metrics satisfy inequality. Which one? The d and d dash. Okay, the matrix, which matrix? D and d dash satisfy the inequality. They satisfy the inequality, and that inequality is d of x comma y is less than equal to d dash of x comma y, and it is less than equal to under root of n into d of x comma y. So this is the inequality which is satisfied by matrix D and D dash. So in the today's class we have studied two examples, example number 2nd and 3rd. We'll solve some more examples in the next class. So till then we'll stop here. Thank you.